Hey guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. Today, I got a really interesting video for you guys today. I'm going to be going through my top 5 scariest gaming memories as a kid. Now, this could be anything related to game trailers that I've seen that have scared me and left a resonation with me, or just moments in games that I've played, just all that stuff. We're going to be diving into that today. Bunch of things that have spooked me as a kid. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, all that stuff down below. Make sure to check out the Twitch channel, go and follow me. I'll try and play a spooky, scary game tonight, and make sure to just hit the notification bell so you're notified of when I upload a video. So without any further ado, let's talk about some spooky moments. The first moment I really want to go into here is the beta of Luigi's Mansion. Now, yes, I want to get this one out of the way because it's kind of obvious that I would be talking about this one. I remember when I was a kid and I first heard about the pre-cut content of Luigi's Mansion, stuff that was originally shown off in trailers but never officially in the actual game. I remember figuring this out when I was probably about 10 years old, maybe 11 years old, and I was like, I really want to see what this game was all about before it released. I want to see what was cut. And then it happened. The moment that everyone remembers from that Luigi's Mansion beta trailer. The zombified Luigi scene. Yes, that moment alone just set shivers down my spine. It was one of those moments where it wasn't scary to the point of, like me being really scared with blood and gore and all that. It wasn't that scary, but it was one of those weird moments, seeing a childhood icon of mine, a character in a game that I've been playing for a few years at that point, in an almost zombified, really dead state, and seeing that really creeped me out as a kid. And to this day, I'm not creeped out by it still, but every time I look at it, it sparks memories of when I was younger and when I was actually scared of that figure. Number 4, have you guys ever played the game Hotel 626? It's an online game. It's not online anymore, but basically it was one of those kind of interactive movie type games where basically you were trapped in this haunted hotel, way scarier than Luigi's Mansion 3. It was a legit creepy game. It was one of those games that kids who were born in the late 90s, early 2000s definitely stayed up late one night to play because it was only open during certain hours. So it was one of those games that was absolutely freaky to play when you were a kid. Well, there was one part that really scared me beyond anything else. There are actually 2 parts that mainly stick out in my mind, so I guess I'll mention them both. The first part that isn't the absolute scariest part for me is you're locked in like this basement area with this guy who's writing numbers on the wall. And with those numbers, there's some sort of puzzle you have to solve. I'm pretty certain it was a code you had to figure out from all the stuff he was writing on the walls. You get 2 chances to look on the walls and figure out the code and put it in. After that second shot, though, if you don't get it, he will jump scare you. And oh my god, as a kid, I could never figure out that code and it always scared me. But scarier than that to me was the section with the baby. You had to be careful to walk carefully and not make a noise. And if you had a microphone hooked up to your computer, it actually picked up noise from you. So if you made noise, that baby would wake and it would cause you to get scared. And there was something so stressful about going through that section and just of not trying to wake the baby. I don't know, it's just really freaky. Next up is actually Left 4 Dead again. I'm going to be talking about Left 4 Dead. Now, This is a moment that still gets to me because one of my favorite special infected from Left 4 Dead, probably my actual favorite special infected, is the witch. Because I remember the first time I encountered her as a kid. It was in the alleyway in No Mercy, right before you get to the street. And there was a witch right in the middle of it. And hearing her sing and hearing her cry really left an impact on me when I was a kid. I think I was like 10 or 11 years old when I played Left 4 Dead. And when I encountered this witch, it was so creepy because, like I said, the singing and the crying was really, really scary. But then when you accidentally alerted her, you know, obviously she starts to rise and then she screams and then she chases after you. That scared the holy bejesus out of me as a kid. And still, to this day, every time I encounter a witch, I'm really, really wary because, well, it's pretty creepy. Next up is Zombie U. Now, Zombie U is a game that came out on the Wii U and then later released on the Xbox and PlayStation, you know, a few years later. And it's honestly a great game, a very underrated gem for the Wii U. I think you should definitely pick it up if you haven't done so. It's pretty cheap. And the game is really not that scary. It has its spooky moments, but overall it's usually not that scary. Except for one part, at least for me. And that's the nursery. There's this nursery that you walk through at one point in the game, and oh my god, it literally, still to this day, scares me. I literally, to this day, have trouble walking through the nursery without being scared that something will pop up. Because usually I leave a few years before I play the game again, just so that I'm not entirely familiar with it every time I go and play it. So when I go into the nursery, I always go in there with a fresh mind, and boy, is it freaky. I usually walk in there, and I walk so slowly. I always have my paddle ready to strike a zombie, and it's honestly, honest to God, one of the creepiest things ever. And there's nothing I can say that compares to it, especially because in that main room where all the kids' toys are, well, firstly, there's something creepy about seeing a daycare filled with blood and all that. But also, something about the music that plays is so perfectly atmospheric while also not being overbearing. It's just absolutely perfect. Before we get into the final one, let me say some honorable mentions. Another honorable mention is from Luigi's Mansion. That's Sue P. Sue P, I remember when I first encountered her, I was freaked out because the room was upside down. She was speaking to me, the controller was vibrating, the whole room was shaking. It was a relatively creepy moment and kind of unsettling, saying, "Don't wake me up, you know, go away," like this little girl, and then reading her backstory, saying how she died in her sleep. It was pretty unnerving, actually, when I was younger to encounter that. So yeah, that's one moment that definitely scared me as a kid. And the last honorable mention is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is really, really weird to say. But it's the Sleepy Time robots. When I was younger, the Sleepy Time robots were always the freakiest ones to me. Not because of the fact that they were sleeping or that they would go alert, but that loud siren that would go off as they were striking you and setting you back, it actually freaked me out a lot as a kid, and I know it freaked out a lot of other people. So the Sleepy Time robot definitely was very, very freaky to me, and I definitely wouldn't want to encounter one of those in real life. Alright, so number one has to be Until Dawn. Now, hear me out. This isn't like a completely ranked list, like I said, in terms of like, this is the definite scariest. But boy, the moment at the very, very end when you're playing as Sam and you have to hold still, I've never felt more attached to my controller, wanting to make sure that controller doesn't move. Not only because Sam was the most interesting character in the game to me, because she wasn't completely a stereotype, but also just because of the fact that I wanted to save everyone I could in the game, so I was really not wanting to move that controller. And the amount of emotion the first time I played the game as I accidentally moved the controller and accidentally got Sam killed, that was one of the hardest things ever, and still to this day is one of the spookiest, scariest experiences that I've ever had in a video game. So there you have it, guys. Those are just some of the scariest experiences I have ever felt in a video game. Let me know what you guys think of my list down in the comments down below, but also list some of your scariest gaming memories. What games and moments in games as a kid really scared you? So I guess that's it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All of that down below, guys. Make sure to click the little notification bell so that you're notified of when I upload a video. And make sure to check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up there. And make sure to check out Twitch. I will be streaming later, probably a scary game of some kind. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.